Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today I'd like to talk about two-hand chord voicing. Two-hand chord voicing is what it says. You use two hands to voice the chord, to position it on the keyboard. This is the voicing of the C chord, right? That's called the root position voicing. That would be the same in the right hand, of course, as in the left hand. This is another voicing. It's the first inversion of the C chord voicing. That's the second inversion of the C chord voicing. Now, if I play like so, that's two-hand voicing, isn't it? Because I'm playing two of the notes in the left hand and one in the right hand. So often we have that kind of sound where we stretch it out between two hands. More often than that, though, we have this kind of sound. We have a whole chord there, and then maybe an octave with a third below it. See, that's a much bigger sound. When beginners start, they start with that. But you can get a bigger sound with octaves, right? And even a bigger sound if you put an a chord note under the octave, top octave note, or the whole chord in there. Okay, this is all voicing. Okay, now there's another way. This is called closed voicing, by the way. And there's another way to voice, and that's called open voicing. That's where you spread out the chords. Instead of playing root, third, fifth, you would play like root, fifth, third. You see, I'm taking the third out of the bottom there and putting it up an octave higher. Now, if you have a hand that's big enough to play that, you can play it all at once. I don't, so I have to roll it like I have to go like that if I want to play it as once. You see that? But more often, I play it as an arpeggio, and that's the voicing too, isn't it? Where two-hand voicing really comes in really handy, of course that adds a lot, but where it comes in really handy is when you have 4 or 5 notes in a chord. For example, if you have a C6 or a C7 or a C6-9, you've got a whole bunch of notes to think about. So if I was going to voice a C9th, for example, I might do it this way. I play the root, 5th, and 3rd down here, and in my right hand I play the 9th. Maybe I'd play my thumb across those two notes. See, that way both hands get in the act and you don't have to get 5 notes in one hand. You can spread them out between the two hands, right? All that's known as voicing. If you have it like in the higher the chord gets, the more helpful this is. For example, let's say you have an 11th. Okay, an 11th is like this. But typically in 11th you leave out the 3rd, so I'm leaving out the 3rd down there. So you have that kind of sound, okay? Well, how much better though if I can make it like that, you see? Spread it out. You see my right hand is playing the upward intervals of the C 11th chord, and my left hand is playing, in this case, not the 3rd, but maybe the 9th. See that? And the 13th, same way. The 13th, and the whole thing would look like that. That's the 13th. But again, if you're going to have the 11th, you got to leave out the 3rd. Otherwise, it clashes. Okay, so you have that kind of sound. It's kind of like a suspension in a way. But again, it's helpful. You can use a two-hand voicing. Here I'm hitting a low root and 5th, and then coming up and playing the chord 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. And then in my right hand, whatever the right hand, of course, I'm limited. Whatever the melody is. Say the melody is A, well, I just fill in the notes of using all the notes of the chord there. Or if the melody was D, or if the melody was C, or B flat, or whatever it is, you see that? But you're operating off that low root and 5th. By the way, when you hit that low root and 5th, capture it with your pedal. Push your damper pedal down so you get all that. Otherwise, the sound will get away. You see, there's a disconnect between that and that. But if you push your pedal down, then you get that. Okay, that's what two-hand voicing is all about. So thanks for being with me, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.